Welcome to the Unfuck Your Fitness podcast. I am your host, Christy Castillo, and I'm here to give you real talk and cut the BS so you can actually enjoy building a body you love. I'm a personal trainer obsessed with giving you simple action steps to take you from feeling stuck to feeling sexy. Let's go. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to today's episode. I'm excited to talk with you today. Today is going to be just a little more of a chill, relaxed, just kind of a hangout session. And I'm excited. I'm going to talk to you today about my journey, my struggles, things that I wish I knew along the way, kind of just like my life as a fit mom summarized over the last 13 and a half years. That's how long I've been doing this thing. That's how long I've been, working on my fitness. And I've learned a lot. And I want to talk about that today because I think so often, I know I used to do this. I think so often we look at people who are fit, especially those of us who put our workouts on and our lives on social media, right? It's easy for us, for you to look at someone in that position that like has the body you want and they work out all the time. And it's easy to think that they do something that we can't do, or that they've always looked like that, or that it comes easy for them, or that they have more time than us, or that they've always done that kind of workout, like that they've always just known what they were doing and that they just get it and I don't, and that they have no struggles. I think on social media, that's something that, it's hard because being someone that obviously that's me. I work on social media. I post my workouts, but I don't put my daily, everything obviously that I do on social media. I don't put my crying moments, my failing moments on social media. And it's not that I want to hide that from you or from anyone, but I think it's just, as part of what we do as social media influencers and, these jobs, like I'm just showing you workouts that you can do and, turning into a post. And so I think it just naturally looks like, oh, she's really got it together. And I know that I did that with other people on social media. And so I'm of course not sitting here saying that I'm perfect or that you view me that way. Please do not. But I have looked at other people and thought that before, especially before I started working on social media, it was really easy for me to look at people who worked out a lot and who, shared their healthy meals and was like, dang, I don't really like those kind of foods. And, I don't know, like she just must have more time than me. She really knows what she's doing. And here I am struggling. So yeah, I definitely caught myself in that comparison game until I started working on social media and realized, wow, I am literally putting on social media maybe 4 minutes of my day. And so is the person that I'm looking up to, right? And so I have no idea what's really going on. And that's kind of why I wanted to make this episode, because I think it just can be such an illusion of thinking that like I can't do what she's doing, or I can't have the body that she has, or I can't count my macros, or I can't track my food, or I can't X, Y, and Z. And really, the journey is so simple. And I'm going to go into that in a little bit. So yeah, I just kind of want to talk about, just kind of have this little session with you. I'm just going to hang out with you for a little bit today and talk to you about some of these things so that just a good reminder for you that you can do this. Good Lord, if I can do this, you can do this. And what it really looks like what I've learned. And hopefully you can learn from some of my mistakes, do this a little bit quicker. That's the goal here. That's my goal for you, is to have you not fail as much as I did and get you out of the things that you're stuck in. So I started this journey, like I said, 13 and a half years ago. And so when I say that I've been through a lot, that is not an exaggeration, meaning that I've been through a lot, well, in general, obviously in my life in 13 and a half years, but that I've been through a lot in my fitness journey. More than I could obviously explain to you, but I have done the restricting and the binging thing. Because if you restrict foods, it causes you to overeat on foods. That's what I mean by binging. I would quote unquote be really good. Like every Monday it was like, I'm going to be really good this week. And I would be good for a few days and then I wouldn't. And then it was like really bad. So I've done that. I have definitely gone ham on the weekends, and tried the clean during the week and then just lost control on the weekends. I have done the, binging when no one was looking. I have rummaged through, this was years ago, but I had rummaged through the cupboards and just made myself sick on Oreos and powdered donuts, like whatever my kids had in the cupboard when they were really little, right? I would, now I still honestly eat my son's pizza crust, but I don't regret it anymore. Like I don't feel bad about it. But when he was really little, I would throw away his pizza crust and I would then literally go back to the trash can and pick it off the top of the trash can. Now I didn't dig deep. That's okay. This is still gross, but I would seriously eat the pizza crust out of the trash can because I would tell myself, I can't have that. I can't have that. It's carbs. They're bad for me. And then I would change my mind. I had no self-control and I would pick the crust out of the trash can. No one knew that. Like I've been there. I have hated the way that I looked and mostly I hated the way that I felt. And when you hate the way you feel, you hate the way you look. It's just, they go hand in hand. My self-esteem was tanked. And it has been up and down over the last 13 and a half years. I'm not going to lie. It's not like a steady uphill, it's up and down. I had the wrong goals. When I first started, I was doing programs that I thought I had to be perfect at. And so if I missed a day, I would start the program over and I would be really disappointed in myself. And I thought that I failed and I sucked and I couldn't do this. And I'm, so stupid and X, Y, and Z. Just that downhill spiral because I was trying to be perfect. I was trying to follow the food plan perfectly, eat my portions out of the portion control containers, measure my food, do everything perfectly. And somehow I thought that I was going to be able to do that forever. I have no idea what I was thinking. I guess I wasn't thinking long term back in those days. And I had little kids. And so I'm, a mom who's younger than obviously. But I have little kids. I'm a newer mom. God, even if you're a mom like me with teens, you still have days where you're like, what am I doing? So it was hard. Like it has been hard. And I have come out of that. All of those mistakes taught me something. And thankfully I did not give up. But there are definitely some things that I wish I knew. If I could go back, I guess if I could go back, I probably wouldn't change a lot. At least not the lessons, because the lessons taught me to get to where I am now. I wouldn't be where I am now without the mistakes. But if I could go back, there are some things that I wish I knew. I wish I knew that it was actually so simple to not only get the body that I wanted, but like just to not have to suffer and to struggle through cardio. And like, I wish I knew it was simple to actually just fuel my body and lift weights. I wish I knew that was really it. Not saying that that's easy, but it's so simple. I didn't know that. I thought I had to just diet all the time and do cardio. I wish I knew that food was my friend, that weights were my friend. I was just always in our workout room. I remember like literally I can visualize myself in the workout room and it was fun. Like I had a good time. I had the kids out there. My husband used to work out with me and he still does, but like it was a good time. Like I looked forward to that time because I knew it was good for me, but I did not enjoy the workouts. It was such a struggle. I wish I knew that I didn't have to suffer and struggle and hate those workouts. I wish I knew that the magic wasn't in the workout itself. I would put so much pressure on following the workout plan perfectly and, not missing a step and just executing it perfectly. But the magic is in the weight that I use and the way I feel my body. It's not in like the structure of the workout or following the plan perfectly. I just need to lift heavy and I need to eat enough food. I wish I knew that being smaller wasn't actually what I wanted. That didn't equal my happiness. And a lot of times I look back at how small I had gotten. I was so tiny and I had no muscle tone. I wasn't eating anything and I was just dripping in cardio workouts and I was just absolutely tiny. I wasn't healthy. I wasn't happy. So I had gotten to the place where I was smaller and I still wasn't happy. I wish I knew that. Like And I don't know, honestly, if I had someone at that time to say, hey, this is not what you want. What you want is X, Y, and Z. I don't know that I would have even believed them. So it's easy to say, right? But it's harder to be like, would I actually have executed that? I'm not really sure. So those are the things that I wish I knew. Like when I look back on my journey, I wish that I didn't have to spend so much time thinking negatively and struggling and aiming for perfection. And I have to think that a lot of my autoimmune issues that I have developed, and doctors, of course, with autoimmune, they can't tell you why, and there's no reason, and your blood work comes back fine. And all the testing that I had done, my colonoscopies and my endoscopies, and they all came back fine. It was just like, you have autoimmune issues. Well, what does that even mean? But I have to think that it's because my hormones were so far off. My gut health was trashed. I was not fueling my body. I was overworking my body. I was, like I said, a mom to little kids, toddlers, elementary school kids, like busy kids, being a mom and a wife and all the things. Like now looking back, it's like, no wonder my body gave out on me. And honestly, to this day, my autoimmune issues are so much better, my digestive issues. And I cut out so many foods back then due to my autoimmune issues. I eat anything right now. There is literally nothing, well, foods I don't like, but there's nothing right now that I can't eat. There are some foods that I will make my stomach like rumble a little bit or something, but there's no foods that I can't have. I used to be in the hospital, doubled over in pain, hooked up to IVs, just trying to get answers because like a root beer float would send me just like, having a slice of pizza would send me into the hospital. And now I can have anything I want. And I've changed nothing. I healed my gut. I shouldn't say I changed nothing, but it's not like I still don't eat those foods is what I'm trying to say. I eat all those foods now. So what changed? I am eating more food. I'm doing the right workouts. I healed my gut. I'm very conscious about my gut health now, meaning I have my reds and greens and I take my digestive care very seriously. My hormones are balanced. My metabolism is better. Like just by getting a healthier mindset and executing those healthier habits, it's caused my autoimmune issues to like basically go away. And so many other things, like I talked about in last week's episode, just so many benefits that come from, weight training and really just fueling my body. So that was a little side note for you, but I feel like, yeah, I've learned a lot. And when I look back, it's pretty actually impressive, like how much failing teaches us, right? So now my life as a fit mom, we'll call it, how I see results, and more importantly, how I enjoy my fitness journey. Honestly, this looks a little bit different today than it did even a year ago, and so much different, like unrecognizably different than it did when I first started 13 and a half years ago, as those things I just mentioned. And what I do now is I show up for myself daily, and that used to look like trying to be perfect and eating out of my containers. And I say that with a funny voice, kind of making fun of myself, but that used to look so much different. And right now I'm giving myself grace, knowing that every day is not going to be the same. Every season, every month, every week is not going to look the same. And it shouldn't. Our bodies are so impressive, but we go through ups and downs physically, and you can't push your body every single day, every week, every month the same and expect, it to function. And so hitting my macros daily, pretty much, but working out 5 days a week, journaling when I feel like it, getting extra sleep when I feel like it, going for walks when I feel like it, calling my friends more often, being more aligned in my business and just my relationships, and taking more time for myself and being a little more selfish with my time. So like, however that looks for me, but I show up for myself every single day. I try to be so aware of where I'm, spending my energy. And no, I am not perfect at that. And no, that does not look every good. And it does not look good every day. And I do not go to bed every single night thinking, wow, we crushed it today. But it's different than that perfection mindset and that go, go, go mindset, to where I can go to bed at night and say, okay, well, we did our best today and we'll try again tomorrow. So I do show up for myself every single day. I prioritize my inner health. So like I was saying a little bit ago, my gut health, my hormones, my mindset, the inner work, knowing that all this stuff does make a difference. And to be honest, I used to think all that stuff was bullshit. And that was coming from a mindset of different things and products and companies that I had tried, coming from that go, 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 push harder, don't miss a day, don't miss a workout, do whatever it takes, hustle, grind. That mentality sucks. And that's where that came from. And so I used to think that gut health, hormones, mindset was all crap. Like it was all just, eat out of your containers, like eat this amount and do this cardio workout that's on your calendar for the day. And just do it no matter what. I used to think that's where the magic happened. That's where the results came from. And it's not. And so I now prioritize my inner health. I also know that the number on the scale doesn't mean anything, as in it doesn't define me as a person. I used to want that number to be smaller, which like I said was crazy because I was already so small. But I think a lot of us are really obsessed with that number. And I think that's also natural, just given society and where we are. Unless I'm at an unhealthy weight, then I would need to work on being healthier. And that scale number on the scale would mean something. I am not one to honestly just like go with body positivity and say like the number on the scale doesn't mean anything. That's not what I'm trying to say. It doesn't define me. And that number is not important. I could literally throw my scale out the window. Right now I have a fancy scale that measures, your metabolic health and your protein health and all the things. So I really like to see the numbers on like how much muscle I've gained and all those kind of things, those stats. But literally the weight of my body, I don't care. And so that's what my life looks like right now as a fit mom. Is part of that is that the number on the scale doesn't define me. And that is very, very freeing. And I also trust the process of my workouts now. And I let go of the timelines that I used to have set for myself on when I want to accomplish a certain goal. There have been many times when I have started a program. I still do follow programs, but I follow them loosely. And I realized that in the middle of that 10-week program, my life could completely fall apart. My kids could need me, whatever. Who knows what could happen, but I might have to pause that workout program and pick back up where I left off. And that's okay. I let go of the timeline of, the goals. I do have goals for myself and my body, but I realized that I'm literally not in control of when my body decides to lose fat, gain muscle. Like I'm not in control of that. And so I just have to put in the work, continue the habits, and trust the process. I do know my macros. I do know how to fuel my body. I know that I need to do that. I know that I need to do certain types of workouts to, shape and sculpt my body. And I just am doing that now. And that makes me happy. Like that's the win. It's not about that timeline anymore. And that's how I teach my ladies. I used to do, programs where I was obsessed with them. And so now I should say I was obsessed with like doing them perfectly. Now when I sign clients up for me and they get sick and they'll message me and COVID, all of my ladies had COVID. And so they would say, I'm sick with whatever, or my kids, were super sick and, needs me for a week or whatever. I will just say like, hey, let me know when you're going to jump back in and I'll restart your program at whatever day you left off. And so you don't miss any workouts with me. I don't want you to waste your money and like miss workouts. I also want you to know that it's okay to have those things happen. That's life. And you just literally pick right back up where you left off. No harm, no foul. Like it's fine. And so I really love saying that for my ladies. And they're like, seriously? First of all, you would just let me do it's not something that I have to do, start their program over. But yeah, I respect my ladies enough to be like, yes, you can continue on with the program. That's fine with me. And like, that's okay to do that. I do that all the time myself. So that's kind of what my life looks like now as a fit mom. And I know that you probably expected that to be way more structured. I do work out 5 days a week, sometimes 4, and I don't care. And I do go for walks. I do those things that I mentioned above, but it's so much more relaxed now. And that's what it should look like, because honestly, you cannot be so rigid in your fitness plan forever. And so you might as well slow it down now and realize that timeline, it's out of your control anyway. You have to just do the habits forever, figure out what that looks like for you, what's doable, and then just execute. And so I do want you to also know that I do struggle daily. You will never get to the point in your fitness journey where you don't struggle, where it's easy, where there will be a few days, maybe a week or two where it's easy. And then something will hit you out of the blue. So I want you to know that I do struggle, and you will struggle, and you might as well just get used to that. I'm going to tell you that right now. But I also want you to know that while getting fit is simple, it is so simple. It's what I teach here on my podcast. And what I say to you that I do is literally what I do. It is simple when you know what to focus on. But it is not easy in the sense that when you see someone with a fit body, please know that they worked their ass off for that body in the gym and outside of the gym. And they earned every single inch of that bod. What you see, they worked hard for. Also know on the flip side, when you see someone completely out of shape, they earn that body too. And it's when you take responsibility for your actions, for your habits, that you realize that either body that we're in, we earned it. But the people with fit bodies, it did not come simple, and it was not easy. And it came with a lot of mistakes, and a lot of tears, and a lot of sweat. It takes saying no to foods that don't fit in your macros sometimes. You can have, like I eat, like I said, there's not a single food that I don't eat. Do I eat them every day? No. Do I eat them in portion sizes that I want to eat them in sometimes? No. So sometimes I've eaten all my macros for the day. I don't get any more food. So it does take saying no. It does take some consistency. It takes so much consistency to do that over and over and over. It takes dedication. So there are some sacrifices that you do have to make in order to have a fit bod, or even just, look good, feel good about yourself. To change your life, it takes sacrifices. It takes consistency. It takes dedication. It takes saying no sometimes to activities that don't line up or situations that don't line up. But that being said, the dedication, I have not gone more than 7 days without a workout. Probably in like these 13 and a half years. Maybe during COVID, when I had COVID, I may have gone 7 days, but I highly doubt it. So, I am super proud of myself for not giving up, and the times when I definitely wanted to. I've done a lot of things wrong, and that has helped me to know how to do things right. You don't sometimes know how to do things right until you do them wrong. And so when you see someone that you look up to, especially in this scenario we're just talking about physically, know that they earned that body, and also know that you can too. It is simple. It's not easy, and it will take consistency and that dedication and saying no sometimes and getting your workouts in even when you don't feel like it. But ultimately, that proud feeling that I have for myself for sticking with it through all the mistakes, for not giving up, even on the days when I was restricting and eating food out of the trash can and feeling really down on myself. I knew I didn't want to be stuck there. And so those mistakes led me to be able to be here helping you today and helping you through some of these times. And so I hope you enjoyed this conversation. It's actually really nice to just kind of sit and chat with you and let you know that I do struggle, that you will struggle, and just really be honest and kind of let you into my world and what I've been through and gone through here in my fitness journey, and what it looks like for me now, how it's changed, what maybe you're stuck in some of those old patterns that I was talking about, and now you can get out of them. So thank you for listening to my story today. If you ever, have any questions or want to chat, or you relate and you want to let me know and continue this conversation on, you can, of course, find me on my social media. I'm usually over on Instagram at Christy Castillo Fit most of the time, but I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much for being here, and I will talk to you next week. Thanks for listening to today's show. Go ahead and leave a rating and a review. And of course, follow the podcast so you don't miss out on any future episodes. And I would love it so much if you came to connect with me over on Instagram at Christy Castillo Fit. I will see you next time.